Hi guys, welcome back to the Debate Heart. Today, of course, we have another debate for you. This one's debate is should Hawkeye have died instead of Black Widow? Emily and I are saying that he shouldn't have, and Grace unfortunately is on her own for this one and is saying that he should have. Everyone's gonna have loads of different points. I feel like this could potentially get quite heated. Let us know how you feel in the comments. Whose side are you on? Help fuel the debate down there as well. So, who would like to start?
I can start.
You
Yeah.
starting? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All on you end.
Okay. At the end of the day, one of them had to die in Boromir to get the Soul Stone and reverse what was done by Thanos. And it had to be either Hawkeye or Black Widow. So for this debate, I'm gonna focus on why Black Widow kind of chose to sacrifice herself instead of letting Hawkeye die. So right at the beginning of Endgame, we see that Clint and his family are spending time together. And we see them, they're having fun, they're outside, they haven't had a chance to do this, because Hawkeye was in prison and, he was busy doing a lot of other stuff, with Shield. And so, we finally get to see this happy family together. And then all of a sudden, they're gone. And it's a heartbreaking scene. Like, imagine having your loved ones right beside you, and then in the next second, they're gone. And you're helpless. You can't do anything because they're gone. You don't know what's happened. And that is basically why Hawkeye turned into the vigilante Ronin. So Nat's sacrifice allowed Clint the chance to bring his family back and to be with them and to build like a new life for himself away from his time as Ronin because he was so stuck in that persona as Ronin. So her sacrifice let him have that chance to get his family back, but to also go back to the way he was. And as because it is the hope of bringing his family back that, gets him to actually abandon his time as Ronin and return as an Avenger. So you know, we also see it like a mirror in a sense between Hawkeye and Black Widow because we know that at a time in her life she was still with the Red Room and doing horrible things. But Clint made the decision to give her a second chance rather than killing her. And so he gave her a chance to, start again in a sense. Though we can see, she still has the trauma and then in Endgame, we see the opposite has happened. Nat has sacrificed herself so that she can give Clint the chance to start over and be with his family. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot I can say for this one, but at the end of the day, it had to be done, and it's really sad because you never want one of your characters, especially if they are your favorite, to die. And there isn't necessarily a wrong choice. It's just about who is able to and willing, and both were. But Black Widow ended up sacrificing herself, and to me, that was the right choice. Also, just thinking about it, I think it's fair to say that Black Widow is a bit more of a popular character than Hawkeye. Let me know if you agree or not about that. So, if Hawkeye had sacrificed himself, would that scene have had that same impact? Would anybody have really cared? I don't mean to be horrible to people who love Hawkeye, but if we're being honest, we know in the MCU, like, during phases 1 to 3, we had seen a lot more of Black Widow and we had barely seen Hawkeye. So I think if Hawkeye had been the one that had died, that scene just wouldn't have been that impactful. But yeah, just generally, like, I think Black Widow should have died and what happened should have happened.
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree. Okay. What I do like Hawkeye, I love Natasha more. And I don't think neither of them deserve to die. And I know it has to be because to get the soul stone. But I think Natasha should have survived because she could have deserved a better and healthier life afterwards. So we saw in Age of Ultron that she and Bruce were becoming more than friends, and maybe their relationship could have been more like they could have become more closer. She did suggested to him that they could have run away together and leave the Avengers behind and just start a normal, quiet life. And I think she deserves that. Like what you said, She was trained in the Red Room. She had to do some very horrible things in her past life as an assassin. So I think she deserved that. She deserved like a peaceful and good life. And if it was with Bruce, then yeah. And also she didn't deserve to be sidelined throughout phase one and phase three. Because for years, no, let me tell you, so Black Widow served as the only woman on an all male superhero team for years. And while everyone kind like not Hawkeye, but at least everyone in that team had their own solo film, standalone film, and she didn't. And Marvel, like during that time before Endgame, Marvel Studios kept assuring fans that Black Widow would get her own film, but it never came, and that felt really unjust. And like you said, Emily, Natasha was definitely probably more popular than Hawkeye. And if she survived, we probably could have get more Black Widow solo films because like not many people know about her story in the comics, and there's so much depth in her character and so much she's done like through like what she went through as an assassin in before she became an Avenger. So I know Hawkeye has a TV show, but I think if Natasha would still be alive, she could have more future solo films instead of a prequel that we had afterwards. And it was just disappointing. I love the film, but you said this before, Emily, it didn't really like impact on the timeline that we had at the future, the present, whatever. Um, so yeah, I think Natasha should have survived. You are
Okay,
free
go
to
for it,
roast me
Ellie.
now.
Ah, oh my gosh, I don't know. You've all said things now and it scares me. Um, I think you're right. I think we did deserve more Natasha, like way more Natasha. The prequel, I love the film, don't get me wrong. But again, it was all the timeline was set. There was nothing else we could do without. It was just stuff that had happened in the past that we weren't too sure about, and it was opened up to us about. But there was no development. Emily, help me out. I've lost all my train of thought. My mother's thrown me.
Okay, I've got one more point to say. Now, Emily, you said in one of your points that after Infinity War, because Hawkeye lost his family, he became the vigilante Ronin. So he became reckless and he started killing off bad guys, and he started creating more enemies for himself. And now when he brought his family back after Endgame, he basically put his family in a bigger risk. Natasha, she wouldn't like put anyone in a risk. So I think Natasha had a I don't this is kind of sound bad, but I feel like Natasha would have having more will probably have a simpler and probably better life after that.
I don't know about simpler
Not
because she would
simpler,
have
but
had
like
to
something
deal
calmer,
with
calmer.
the
Like,
loss of Hawkeye. It's
yeah.
still the loss of so many people, those 5 years and all that stuff. I get what you mean, but even if he had died, his family would still probably be maybe in trouble. Like, I'm sure these people, like, these bad people that
Probably
he was
even
killing,
more
I'm
so.
sure they would know.
Yeah, but if
They
they
would know
heard
how
that
to
he
fight.
died, they probably left them alone because they
Nah, no way. No way. They would go
Revenge is
after them.
revenge. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We've seen all the
exactly
Marvel
he's
Someone
movies. It
dead,
has
so
to
doesn't matter
pay
basically
whether
the
revenge
you
is
price.
already
die or what.
done.
They come after
Mm.
everyone.
Yeah, exactly. They
Also,
wouldn't be like, oh, he
if
died. It's
Hawkeye had
fine.
died, we wouldn't have had the movement of the new Avengers coming our way. Kate
Yeah.
Bishop wouldn't have come into the scene.
No, but I think
Yelena
maybe
wouldn't have come
Natasha
into
would
the
have
scene.
kind of taught Kate Bushett about Hawkeye. If he died, Natasha would have like told Kate about Hawkeye, and then maybe help her to take not take
But there
over, but
wouldn't be
like
that connection or reason for her to.
yeah,
She would be focused on Yelena. With Hawkeye there, we get both.
yeah, but
And when we need both, love both actors, love both characters that we've got coming our way. So
mm.
it's he opened the path for new Avengers
Yeah,
that we
but I
might.
feel like she would have become like a bigger leader
This is
afterwards,
true.
maybe. Because during the 5 years of the blip, she was in charge. She tried to connect with like literally everyone, while nearly like Captain America was kind of semi-retired, and so was Thor. He was fully retired, and so was the Hulk. I think, but she was technically like taking a much bigger role. Like she was still connecting with Captain Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy, Rhodey, and I think if she survived and afterwards, I don't know, I feel like she wouldn't be much of a side character. She could have like, I don't know, become so much. She would have taken a much bigger leadership role, if that makes sense. Hawkeye wouldn't do that.
That's true.
But Hawkeye hasn't had the opportunity to
That's also
no,
true.
Because
we
he's
haven't
not that
seen enough of him.
popular. That's the thing.
I
But that's
also
because they
feel
sidelined him. They literally have not given him a chance at
they
all.
actually haven't. They have not given that man a chance. So I do hope he has like a little bit more push somewhere, but I think it has just moved on to the next generation of
Yeah.
characters. I
I
Mm.
mean,
also
I feel
feel as
like,
if
oh, sorry, go on.
oh, hi.
No, go on.
Um, I feel as though Natasha wouldn't have coped as well as Nick. Nick? Whoa.
Wait, Nick.
We're saying too
Nick?
many names
Wait, Nick
here.
Fury? Are you talking about
Nick
him?
Fury's yeah, Nick Fury should have died. That's my take on this. That's the point I'm standing. Joking, joking, joking.
Oh, you know what? If he wouldn't have died and he came on the mission, I think he probably would. I'll think about it.
Potentially.
But we're
Sorry.
not talking about that here. We're
Anyways,
talking
Clint.
about
I
Matt
think
and
I don't think Natasha would have coped as
Clint.
well. I think that would have been her last straw. Clint was like her rock through so much. He helped
Her
guide her in the right
family.
direction. He was obviously she had Yelena and all that, but in the blip, she lost them all. So he was literally her everything, her main course for everything. If he had gone, she wouldn't have been able to deal with the guilt. It would have eaten her alive completely.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like they went this certain route because the actress, she doesn't want to do any more Marvel stuff. So I feel like this was the best way to send her off. So,
Kill her off.
she's yeah, kill her off.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want to
That's
do
just
any more?
cold.
Okay, here's death to your
Yeah, there you
character.
go.
Oh, that's just cold.
But like I said, like I don't think there is a right or wrong answer like for this one. Not that there generally is. Like it's always about your opinion, but I feel like for this one especially, like it's like you can't weigh up two people's deaths. You just can't. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Like
but
who
that's
deserves to
fictional,
die,
so we're
It's
allowed.
like what did you say, Grace?
Nothing, don't worry.
Oh, I'm gonna have to listen back and hear what Grace said.
I said because they're fictional, we're allowed to.
They're fictional. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm still sticking with it. The way it happened is the way it should have happened. Happens. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Black Widow should have died,
Yeah,
basically, is what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I don't agree with you, but I do think neither of them deserve to die.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I'm
definitely.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on the same page as you guys. I don't think anyone should have died, but I do stick my ground that it should have been Natasha over Clint.
Right, guys, so that's the end of our debate. It's not as vicious as we all thought in the beginning, but hey, it was fun and good to discuss about. So thank you so much for watching. Before you leave, though, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts on who should have died. Should have been Natasha, should have been Clint. Tell us your reasons, who do you agree with, and if there are any other debates you want us to look into. And you can check out other debates we've done in the past, like the Marvels ones. We've done who's the best Spider-Man? Are you Team Captain America or Team Iron Man? Should have Captain America died instead of Iron Man? We've done so much, guys. Check them out. We've also done a few other debates, like we've done the climate change debate. We've done is AI a threat to humanity debate. Again, check them out, guys. We've also done review, reactions, games, pranks, so much. Again, check them out. They're on our channel. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. If you do, we'll follow you back. And you can also check out our website that tells you information about the team and some of the videos we've done in the past. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.